Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, back with a new unboxing video because I received mail recently, like a vinyl parcel coming in from AUT Records from Italy, from the guy Davide Lorenzon, who is the head of the AUT Records camp, who sent me like this sweet thing a while ago, but it's been a while since I shot a video, because life and stuff and a lot of work and a new release, of course, as you've seen in my last video and stuff. And I fell ill, like I caught the snuffles pretty bad like last week, so I was completely out of order for like 2 days, and until yesterday my sinuses and my nose were pretty much clogged up and running and stuff, so wasn't the best condition to film a video. I'm still not like 100% at where I'm at usually, but at least I can speak without like sounding too nasal and stuff. And so it's unboxing time, definitely. Yeah, it's been 4 weeks. The new release, the new Free Breaks Forward release has received like some interesting praise from Juno Records in the UK, and which like is the biggest like online vendor for vinyl in the UK, and they wrote like a review, and I'm pretty happy about that. We didn't ask them to, we didn't send them a promo, we didn't bribe them, but apparently we did something, to quote them, like super special there, and I'm pretty happy to be recognized in that way. Hardwax in Berlin picked up some copies, and so did New Tone Records in Japan, and I guess Dub Store in Japan will get some as well. And well, Tom Highland District, thank you for the support. I hope the record arrived at your place, because I cannot track it from here where I am at, because there's been some strike going on, like workers' strike in the German like post thing, and well, I hope the record arrived. I know that Freddy Fresh Records arrived in the States, so yours should be there as well. But not talking too much about that release, because we got some new stuff in here as well, which comes, as I said, from the AUT Records camp, which is a label run partly from Italy, partly from Italia, and which is like originating or like at home in the realm of, I guess, jazz mostly, but expands in like interesting directions. Well, let me open this quickly. Has like released some like full-on like vocal records, has released some very experimental like free improv stuff, which is for the city part of the releases, a lot of focus for them, and also had some like electronic dabblings in there every now and then, and usually has like a small group setting of people, so they do not like do like full orchestra jazz things, but mostly intimate 3 to 4, maybe sometimes 5 people like coming together in like a small setting, ensemble setting, and then exploring in a free-floating fashion like things that are informed by jazz but also by modern composition and stuff. So interesting avant-garde music for sure. And what we got here is perfectly wrapped in bubble wrap. Oh, and we got more down there. So, oh, we got CDs and vinyl. So this is interesting. For now, we got some empty cardboard thing. And okay, I will unwrap and unfold this. So bubble wrap, we all love this. And it pops, which is interesting. So this will be reused, and we got like 3 CDs as far as I can see, and a new vinyl record. So let's go through the CDs first. Just removing the foil here, because whenever I show them there will be a glare with the ring light. Even with the ring light, I have still to figure out like another solution to not get the ring light reflection in all the releases there. And there is some, I don't know what they're called, some light boxes that have like more of a like passive or like indirect light source, and probably I should get those, but I feel at first, before I do that, I should like move my ass out of this flat and like find a new one, which shouldn't be that easy in Hamburg, but which is on my to-do list for sure, because I need more space, and I need more office space for sure in terms of like Discogs and stuff and other things. So let's have a look at what we got here. So we got one resonance. Let's start with this one, which has been released on January 8th. Alberto Popola, Really the Blues, a 13-track album, as you can see here. Which is a name, Alberto Popola, which I don't recognize like immediately, but it seems that he interprets like 13 blues classics maybe on clarinet objects. This is always an interesting description in electronic and electroacoustic music, because objects is just an undefined term, which could be anything from like a dead cat to like a block of cheese and like whatever you can find around. So this is more like a probably found or like randomly picked thing that makes some noise, and tapping, which is what I'm doing here. So from Jelly Roll Morton to Eric Dolphy, from Blind Willie Johnson to John Carter via Mesro, Jimmy Jeffrey, Milt Jackson and Randy Weston, Really the Blues is a deep and emotional journey in and around bluesland. So that seems to be that Alberto Popola is indeed like reimagining and reinterpreting blues classics, avant-garde blues, traditional blues, Delta and New Orleans blues and stuff, with which is led, the interpretation of that is led by his clarinet and the tapping of his foot, and what is called a pedal board of objects as a like additional like percussive source, I guess. So this is an interesting approach. We have a blues record on AUT Records, or like an experimental blues reinterpretation record, which isn't what we have usually on the label. So this is the album cover. I don't expect to recognize any of the names in the track list, because I am, apart from I guess Depeche Mode's Delta Machine, not really, which isn't really a blues album, but blues influenced at some point or in some way, not familiar with any blues music at all. So John Carter is a name I've heard, but this could be like another John Carter I've heard of, because that's not a name that is rare, I guess. Louis Armstrong, of course, Milt Jackson I've heard at some point, but all other names here are like a blank space for me. So the total time of this one is 52 minutes roughly. Really like that. Reminds me of like an open fire, like, and you sit in front of that and like have a drink and have a whiskey or whatever. So this could be like more autumnal music maybe, which is suitable at some point or to some degree, because it's getting cold again in Germany. So we had like a slightly warmer period, but now it's back to like 0 degrees Celsius at night. So this is, well, the last like echo of winter, I guess. The next one is Say When, an duo album by Gianlu Mimo and Ove Volkwarts, which might be a name of German origin, because Volkwarzen is a name that is like well used in the northern part of Germany at some point, or like to some degree. So that's and Volkwarts might be like a derivative of that. Released on December 8th, AUT Records 118, a 6-track album which runs for 50 minutes roughly. There's a press sheet. We got a duo setting, which soprano saxophone and bass and contrabass, clarinet and flute. So a whole like wind brass combination, described in French, which I don't speak. So, but we got references to Art Brut, which is like the exact opposite of what this is maybe. The sound of Say When requires no exegesis, frills or suggestions, not even interpretations or images to associate with emotional crutches. No synesthesia, it's an immanent, absolute, literally objective expression. It requires nothing else in the existence and presence, it's sufficient unto itself. Okay, that's quite a statement, I guess. So could this be an improv album, maybe? I guess. Live recorded maybe at Interplay Studio in Milan in Italy on May 9th of last year. Cycles of sound, textures matter that seem to compose itself only to dissolve, a flame that does not consume. It creates emptiness and absence, a clinamen, a deviation that sparks motion and sustains unquenchable tension. This could be everything and nothing, but I presume this is dark. This feels like dark and probably desolation jazz. Is this a thing? Just from the first expression. The cover is really cool, which is more referencing like abstract art. Abstract but still concrete and like approachable at some point. Here is the back. There is what the full album looks like. We got 6 tracks on here. Stay Reluctant, Athena Amidst the Olive Trees, Say When, to put it mildly, More Than One Threshold, and Distant Peaks. Could also be free jazz, maybe, or free improv. So we'll see what this is. And the last CD album is a solo piece, I guess, by Massimo De Mattia. It's called Resonance, AUT Records 121, released on January 29th, and with a total playtime of 32 minutes and 10 tracks, as far as I can see that. Once again, we got flute and found objects, which as I said previously, it could be very random things like, for example, a telephone maybe. And it's kind of referencing The Monster, which is an industrial building, industrial complex in the northeast of Italy, which is built in 1865 for cotton processing, and it's been abandoned since 1989, which is interestingly the year the wall came down, and with the German unification or reunification to follow, actually. And Massimo De Mattia, went there in 2023 in summer and performed there without an audience and recorded all that with his flute and some objects there, and used like crumbled materials, broken glass, whatever, crumbled, worn out metal and stuff. So this is an urbex album. Like urbex jazz is a thing that I'm coining here and right now, urban exploration jazz music, probably. And the cover also is probably a photo shot at this abandoned industrial building, which is quite an adventurous venture, I guess, to go in there and perform, because you never know which frequency you hit, and if you hit the right one, you might like shatter some windows or like cause some like rocks or like roofing or like metal things to fall down, because as you know, all things have their own resonant frequency, and it's basically the same effect when an opera singer sings and the glass shatters in your like kitchen and stuff. And now we got a final thing, which is an album, AUT Records 114. Flute is the name of the artist or the project's stones that I have chiseled. So flute is an interesting name, especially in combination with the title, because the German word Flut, which is a German word, does mean flood, and flood and the ebb and the flow of the water in the ocean definitely forms and shapes rocks and glass and whatever is on the shores and on the beach. So the stones that I have chiseled might actually be a reference to water shaping shaping rocks and stuff and shaping the coastline basically. The cover is beautiful. I hope you can see this properly because there will be a glare there and a reflection. 6 tracks, a total playing time of 43 minutes and 42 seconds. This is really beautiful. It's been funded by the German Initiative Musik, which is a kind of operation or like institution that provides a certain amount of money for people to like produce an album and record an album and do things. I guess you have to like lay out a project plan and stuff for them, and if they approve, they hand you like a few thousand euro, I guess 20 maybe. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a seam split here, but it's a trio. It's Christopher Kunz on saxophone, Isabel Rösler on contrabass, and Samuel Hall on drums and percussion. And it's described here as a reduced trio of saxophone, bass and drums, which has played a central role in the development of the new thing in jazz over the past 60 years. Referencing Albert Eiler here, Peter Bretzmann, Lovano, and a lot of things. So there is a whole like bit down here which contains a lot of information. I'm not reading through that right now, but I will reference that in my review, of course, which will happen on my website Erzählt within a few weeks. And let's have a look at the vinyl, of course, as well, because vinyl is always beautiful. And we got the artwork here. Can we see who has cut this? Oh, this has been pressed in Poland, I guess. A monotype pressing is a pressing plant I am familiar with I guess they're in Poland. They also run a label, I guess, Monotype Records, and I have some of their records. So this will sound fine and beautiful, I hope. We got the artwork here. 3 tracks per side, so roughly 20 minutes, 20 plus minutes per side, I guess, and some artwork here as well. So this is flute stones that I've chiseled, which rounds off this video with a vinyl thing that has been released on the AUT Records label, which, as I mentioned, I guess previously and in other videos, is run by Davide Lorenzon as their head like promoter and CEO and creative mastermind, I guess. So shout out to Davide and all the crew for sorting me out. I'm going to go into editing mode right now. Expect reviews to pop up on my website Erzählt within the next weeks. So I will still in the midst of the concert season. So I work a lot at the concert venue I work at, but from April on things will slow down, I guess, because, well, the concert season like slowly fades out, and but I will like take care of those review wise in a like very soon. Let's take it at that. Bass Junkie out. See you in the next one.